Decided to do this video because of things that I'm seeing and not seeing on YouTube or Instagram or IGTV regarding tutorials that our veteran artists and our new artists are putting out there. Some of the Polyclay artists are transitioning over to resin and missing something very, very, very important, and that's health and safety. So it's so important that if you're going to do these videos, please be aware that there is a health and safety aspect that's being ignored, and please add that in. I am a retired optician and expert in how plastics behave and how light behaves when hitting certain surfaces and going through certain surfaces so it gets to the eye. That's what I went to school for, and that's what I'm expert in. Even having said that, working in an optical environment where you're handling all kinds of chemicals like acetone, like methyl alcohol, working in the lab using all kinds of different procedures. There we had to do health and safety and get certified in health and safety. And one of the things that was very clear is that you wore safety glasses, safety goggles, safety glasses. You wore gloves. We wore lab coats, so a lot of our exposed skin was covered. We were on our feet all the time, so sitting down was not as much as an issue ergonomically to do the work. Now, polyclayers, there are some polyclays that people are allergic to. One of the girls that I follow here on Instagram got some terrible news that she's now allergic to her polyclay and has to give up it looked like an amazing livelihood of selling and working with her polyclay art, and that hurts me, to my soul, because I am a chem sensitive artist myself. So at half the time I don't even know what I'm allergic to. I just know that the symptoms come on very, very quickly, extremely quickly. And then what happens is I'll have some terrible reactions. I am allergic severely to latex, and I do have chlorine allergy as well. And lately I've discovered that I'm allergic to ethanol, which 80% of alcohol ink is. And if you look up their MSDS data sheets, you'll see that it can have and can affect your liver in the long run. Now, I'm supposing that it would take you years and years and years of exposure to alcohol inks to have that type of damage, but something that you can do is that you definitely flush out your system, stay hydrated, take vitamins, antioxidants to clear out your system. Make sure you're working in a well-ventilated area. Make sure if you do have allergies or are chem sensitive yourself, that you use a barrier cream on your exposed skin or cover them up somehow. Okay, if you look at my Polygumshoe TV channel on YouTube, you will see more in depth of the types of things that I do and how I take care of myself when working with art. As far as being allergic to polyform products like Sculpey 3 Primo and Sculpey Souffle, I'm thinking it has to do with the colorants they use, because the colorants in Sculpey is very different from Kato polymer clay, and I'm thinking that's probably why I can use Kato more successfully without any allergic reactions, with the exception of Kato liquid polyclay. But again, I treat the liquid polyclay like a resin. So when I'm using resins, again, I am using safety glasses, I am using a mask or cheesecloth or both. I'm making sure my skin is very much covered with some sort of barrier cream, or I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt, not in this heat, but barrier cream, definitely loads and loads and loads of nice fresh air. I've got windows open all over the place. Yeah, so I do my due diligence for myself to protect myself for now and also in the long run. Now, the other thing that I wanted to just mention, and this is very important, I'm not calling y'all out, but veteran polyclay artists, veteran polyclay artists transitioning over to resin, you have got to, on your videos, give your viewers the protocol, okay? You gotta do it. Don't be showing yourself mixing up some resin without gloves on. That's just being irresponsible to the people that are watching you, okay? A chemical, if you're using 2-part resin, okay, I don't know about the one that goes in the oven or whatever, UV resin, I don't know about that one. I expect though with the fumes, you should be covered up, okay, that I'm assuming. Okay, but I know 2-part resin. 2-part resin, whether it's a fat setting or whether it's a slow setting resin, okay, it cures by chemical reaction, and then there's an exothermic, meaning there's heat released when the two items come together. Fast curing resin, if you're not careful, you can burn yourself. It gets that hot. It really does. Over and above 120 degrees, it really does get that hot. So your subject or if you don't tell your people who are watching, they won't know. They won't know to cover up. Please be responsible and let your viewers know. Okay, I'm off that. Okay. Now, as far as polymer clay is concerned, I mean, you guys have been using polymer clay and forever. I don't know if there are some polyclayers that have been complaining of late that they've been doing it for a long time, and all of a sudden they're starting to notice, or they're complaining of breathing issues and that sort of thing. I don't know what to say about that, because I don't know, maybe they're allergic to the product, like the one girl that I follow. And they just weren't aware. They just weren't aware that they were allergic to it, and I feel really badly for them, because this is your livelihood, and this is what makes you money. So I just wanted to express myself live on Instagram and let you guys know that we need, as a community, to be responsible to those coming up in this art, and let them know that there are things. We're working with chemicals, and we have to be, chemically aware. Please read the MSDS data sheets of the products that you're using, or call the manufacturer and ask questions. If you are using any mica powders, you should be wearing a mask, because if that stuff goes into your lungs, oh boy, right? Oh man, right? Maybe not now, down the road, right? If you're using any chalks or pastels, I use pan pastels, they don't throw a lot of dust. I still got my mask on. I still have my mask on. I really do. I just think that we just need to be responsible to each other, and happy claying and happy creating, and I hope you have a successful day. I'm out.